You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Hot Take Hot Box, like we were just played in by the Eagles fight song. I don't even know what episode number this is. It's probably in the 120s of some...
69.
No, yeah, I sure
420.
wish. I sure wish. This is 124, I believe. My name is Matt McSweeney. I am joined by Ty Capone. Ty, you are heading out to KC in the next few days to go watch our beloved Philadelphia Eagles take on the reigning champion Kansas City Chiefs. We will have a full pod here, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about, preview the game a little bit, kind of talk a little with Sixers, a little Phillies. We'll have all the information that you need to know going into this weekend's, it's honestly not even this weekend. It's going to be a Monday night special. It's the first time you're in Kansas City, right? I mean, I don't think anybody...
First time I've been in the mid... Yeah. I've been asking a lot of people, like, what do you guys know about Kansas City? They all keep saying the same thing. I heard their barbecue's good. I'm like, yeah, I know, bro.
Everybody knows that. Come on,
trust me.
I
have places written down. Can you tell me anything else? I don't know. But I think gambling is legal. I think weed is recreational.
Nice.
And prostitution, who knows? So we're going to see what we can get into.
I don't think
in Missouri.
That, but I don't know. I don't know for sure.
I will be at Gayhod Field at Arrowhead Stadium. Very long field name. I can't wait. I'm going to be in section 303, row 17, seat 4. Boom. Kind of like in the middle, but closer to the front-ish of the 300 section at the end of the row. I'm excited. I'll be kind of by the 40-yard line-ish, so I'll be up there on the Eagles side. I will kind of be straight ahead of Taylor Swift and her box. The box that she will be in, her suite.
Jesus.
And her box, I guess.
Lord.
So
too early for this.
And I have a feeling she's going to be there because I thought she was just doing her South American tour. Appears Saturday night she will be in Miami, and she does not have another show until the following Friday. So she should be at the game. She has like 15 P-Jets lined up. She can get there in 10 minutes, I'm sure.
She's so rich.
Yeah, the Kelsey fam and the Swift fam. This is the first time they're going to be meeting. And what perfect opportunity for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, hopefully healed up with that knee. I know I just saw some reports saying it. It turns out he has some knee soreness. Yeah, no shit. He's been limping all year. So hopefully we can kind of get that under control. We've seen a lot of quarterbacks go down. Joe Burrow just went down. It seems like it's been a plague this year. So I'm really just hoping.
Kirk Cousins, Rodgers, Daniel Jones.
Every time,
yeah.
Every time I see Jalen, go down in any way, I'm just kind of worried because the one time he went down, it took him a little bit to get up. And I really, I really just do not want to see Marcus Mariota quarterbacking this offense, knowing that he's going to have to put up some points because our defense will give up points. I think we have like one of the worst pass defenses in the league. So that's, I'm not going to worry about his health because if he gets hurt, everybody gets hurt. It's football. So, there's fake rumors about Jalen Carter getting caught stealing. I don't know if you saw that. That was crazy.
Yeah, that seemed like a non-story to me. It just seemed like somebody trying. I saw Big Man on Campus, Jeff Nadeau's out here reporting that. Like it's like
the guy. Apparently, that reported it was also some creep that some girl exposed on TikTok before. So I mean, who knows what's going on anymore? Kelly Oubre gets hit by a car, and everyone's like, "Oh, he faked it." They're calling him Kelly Smollett.
I saw that.
And it turns out the Philadelphia police is incompetent. Who could have known the Philly police is incompetent? I'm shocked.
That is very surprising.
I cannot tell you. I'm very shocked that they didn't come and talk to him until like hours after he got hit by a car and be like, "Hey, what happened, by the way? We tried catching up with you earlier, but we just had to stand ground outside of Starbucks."
I love how the reports come out like, oh, well, nobody even knows if he got hit by a car, and it's like maybe he lied. Maybe the first report was a complete lie because We see the first video is him rolling in with a bike, and we're like, nobody said anything about a fucking bike.
Nobody said anything about a bike.
You know what? The problem, I know this is going to sound like such an old man thing, but it's the truth. Like all of these reporters are just in such a rush to be the first person to get something out there that they don't get all the facts straight before they come out and talk. It's just they go, well, you got hit by a car. They go through, and it doesn't really matter the information. They just then later on. At a time at their convenience, they're like, well, he didn't exactly, lie. The police didn't even talk to him. It's like, oh, all these different things that we thought the police had already talked to him and knew where it was, and was that locust in this? It's like, no, they didn't even know any of that. No one said anything.
Yeah, no one knew shit.
Kelly Oubre just got here. He has no idea where the fuck I've lived here my whole life. I barely know where some of this. I know where they are, but if I got hit by a car while I was going home, I wouldn't know where the fuck I was. I'd be rolled out. First thing I'm not looking at the sign was wait, where was I? Was I race and locust? No, who cares, dude? I'm just glad he's okay, to be honest. But
yeah, hopefully he comes back soon. We've actually needed him. It turns out our depth has been tested. I love Jaden Springer. I love that he's been playing lately. So do you want to get in the Sixers? Should we keep going with the Eagles since we started?
I think we should start with the Eagles just because of the importance.
Hype me up here. Let's
level of
I want you
that this game
to hype me up.
Listen.
Yeah. So
we're going to KC to kind of get our respect back. All right. And I know
we owe us. We owe them.
We owe them an ass beating. I'm not going to sugarcoat this whatsoever. The Chiefs are very good. Nobody is doubting that at all. But I think both teams are coming off the bye, correct?
First time in NFL history, a Super Bowl rematch is on a Monday night, and I believe. And also, I think it's the first time there's a Super Bowl rematch with both teams coming off a bye. I believe. I saw some stat like that earlier in the year, but I think it's something like that. So, yeah, I mean, both teams have a chance to get healthy. I don't know about their health situation, but I think ours is
somewhat good. I mean, the Kobe Dean got put on IR, but we kind of expected that. Dallas Goedert, they refused to. I guess he's not going on IR. Is that what the thing is? That he might be back before then.
So that's good
because I feel like they would have put him on by now, right?
Yeah, the injury didn't. I mean, it wasn't great to look at, but it wasn't bad. I remember people were like, "Oh, it's a bad injury." I was like, "Is it?" I mean, I'm not a doctor, but nothing snapped visibly. I'm sure
Yeah, they said he had a fracture, but I don't know how bad it actually was, right?
Yeah, so that's good. And, Nakobe Dean, I don't know. I don't know if he's good or not, but he's not playing. So we got to rely on Zach Cunningham, who's honestly been playing really well. So is Nicholas Morrow. Shout out to him. I trashed him on Twitter. I was like, this is a guy the Bears didn't even play. They didn't even know about him. They didn't want him, but we picked him up and we made it work. So, I really hope we need to get pressure. It's just something we've kind of been inconsistent with.
Yeah.
And we really need to mask our secondary issues all over the middle of the field. I think this is going to be a big game for Kelsey. I don't see any way we can slow him down at all. Maybe you stick Reed on him, but Reed small. Reed small.
Like that matchup
I don't like it. There's nothing really you can do though unless you want to put Bradbury on him. I guess that would be the best move, but we got to worry about Rashee Rice. They don't have great receivers, but again, we don't have a good pass defense. I'm sorry, we have one of the worst pass defenses in the league. So it's more about getting to Mahomes. That's kind of obvious, but that's the guy. That's what you need to do. You neutralize him a little bit, or I would say get him on the move. But that's kind of where he's at his best. So you really just need to keep him in the pocket and kind of just collapse the pocket. Really, is what you need to do. I think if you look at some of the pass blocking from the Chiefs, where they really struggle, I think, is the tackles. I think their guards and their center, Creed Humphrey, Joe Tooney, they're studs. But Juwan Taylor, terrible. He's been a major liability. He's good in the run game, but I think in the pass game he's pretty bad. Donovan Smith, he's getting old, so he's they're giving up some sacks, I believe. How many pressures? Yeah, Donovan Smith's given up 29 pressures, 22 for Juwan Taylor. It's a good amount, man. So I think we can definitely capitalize on that. I have a little bit of concern with their pass defense. Not necessarily that. I think their defense has been good by all accounts, but I think we have a major advantage out wide with Devontae and AJ. Hopefully, maybe this is the time for Julio to play a little bit more. Right? I know he had the touchdown, but he's really only been thrown to a couple times. So maybe this is the time for him. I do like Trent McDuffie a lot, L'Jarius Sneed, but he has 12 penalties this year, L'Jarius Sneed. So he gets grabby. Mike Edwards, Justin Reed, Jalen Watson, some of these guys I don't trust, and I think we can kind of expose them. Their front, I love Chris Jones. He's absolute stud. Other than him, I don't really know what they have up front. George Karlaftis is a solid pass rusher, young kid, but yeah, I think we can. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I think it's gonna be a 34-30, 37-31, something like that game, and just we cannot turn it over. But
yeah, I agree with you. I think it's obviously it's like the most cliche thing, but it's the truth. You have to get after Pat Mahomes. It's the only way you're going to win this game. You just discussed it and talked about it perfectly. Like that secondary is not good. No matter how you sugarcoat it or how you say it, it's just they have been getting cooked and exposed all season long. And Bradbury's looked older. Slay has been banged up and then looked older, but he's looked better as of recent. And you can't get Bradley Roby on the field, who you brought in to kind of replace Avonte Maddox, who also got hurt. So
I guess signing him off the street wasn't the best. He wasn't the best.
Yeah, it wasn't
readily ability.
Yeah, like it's when you're signing a guy off the street, there's a reason he's on the street, whether he can play or not. It's he's not. He can't stay healthy. It is what it is. So the Eagles are going to have to get after the quarterback. It is the only way they're off, or their defense is going to be able to somewhat just stay afloat in this game. It's going to rain, it looks like. All right, how do you feel about that?
Yep.
You're going to be up in the stands.
Of course. I mean, listen, if I'm coming to any kind of city in the world, I can guarantee you it's going to rain as soon as I arrive. It happened when I first moved to Florida. It happened when I went to Ireland. It happened when I went to Arizona. It's going to happen when I go to Kansas City. So maybe I'm the common denominator here. Maybe I'm the problem. It's me. If you get that reference, but. So it seems like Grant Calcaterra is back from his 35th concussion, so that's good. I hope we see Albert O, because I think he probably can't block that well, but I've never seen anything from Jack Stoll. He's supposed to be a blocking tight end, and all of his numbers, Pro Football Focus has rated Jack Stoll in like the 40s, pretty much every game he plays. So there's a reason we went after Calcaterra and signed him. There's a reason we traded for Albert O. It's because we have no stability behind Dallas Goedert, and now he is out, so we're going to have to see a kind of a mix. I know a lot of people want to see Julio Jones play tight end. I don't know about that, but maybe heavier set wide receiver set formations. Maybe we go 4 or 5 deep, or wide, I should say. We can also mix and match with our running backs. I really hope we can see something from the run game. We have Cam Jurgens back. That's going to be huge. I mean, whoever Opeta and Tyler Steen were getting absolutely abused at right guard. So that's big. I think Roby's back. It seems like he's a full participant in practice. So and Justin Evans is even limited. So that'd be awesome just to have another DB that's healthy back there, especially at safety. Hopefully Kevin Byard, this is 2 more weeks for him to kind of get used. 2 more weeks, 1 more week with the bye to get adjusted to the team, the defense. I don't know, man. I feel like this is the stars are kind of aligning, right? I'm sure the Chiefs are feeling confident as well.
Yeah.
What are they, -3?
I believe so, if I have it correctly. The last time I saw it, they were a 3-point favorite, but
this is gonna be a good game, and I think we're gonna pull out a close one. I think 34-31 Eagles is my prediction. Maybe 30-27, something like that. 2.5. So people are. I'm gonna place a wager on the Birds. I have to.
Absolutely.
I have to. And maybe Kenneth Gainwell, first touchdown score. I don't know. So, like you said, we have to get to Mahomes, and we need, if we grab him, we got to finish the sack. No more of that, just letting him skate by, because that's when he's going to clip us. We're going to let MVS go deep, and you're going to have Bradbury shaking his head, and somebody's going to be looking at somebody else. I can see it now. So, I'm not, like Kelsey was saying, or don't let him, but I kind of am worried about broken plays. I kind of am worried about one of their receivers getting off on us. Losing him deep. They do have speed. Rashee Rice, he's got speed. MVS is very fast. So we see Mahomes, kind of just make it work back there. So that's gonna be huge.
I think a couple things that just kind of popped in my mind. One, you're right. You're gonna have to get that run game going. I think controlling the time of possession and making the Chiefs one-dimensional, and I say that by we have to shut the run down. We can't kind of be confused whether what's coming or what's not. If we stay up in this game, we're playing from ahead, and we know the Chiefs are going to have to throw the ball to get back into this game. Pat Mahomes is a scary guy, but I would like you have a better chance of beating him when you know what's coming, and I think that's kind of the only way that we really can win this game. The Chiefs are good, but I don't think they're as good as last year. Similar to what people probably say about the Eagles, that they're not as good as they were last year. But the Eagles are 8-1, and the Chiefs are 7-2, so they're still pretty fucking good. I would say I like the Eagles. I think the Eagles, with the rain, with all of the different little factors, them being as healthy as they can be, I feel really good about this. I will be really upset if they do lose this game. It's not the end of the world. I want to clarify that. But Ty, this is like the ultimate like measuring stick game. I know a lot of people are trying to. People in Philly are really trying to like downplay it a little bit.
No, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, they're like, well, this isn't revenge, and it doesn't really matter. And the Eagles
that.
lost to the better team last year. I'm like, you're an asshole. You actually are an idiot if you think that.
Yeah.
Seriously, you're not any. I know people.
And if we lose this year, I'm not going to believe it either. I think we are better. I think.
Okay. I think the same.
I don't even know. I guess I'm just going to have. I guess I was really trying to.
You were going to go deep there.
I wasn't going to go deep.
Real deep.
I wasn't going to go too deep. Not waist deep. Shout out to Tyrese, and Megan Good. But I was definitely going to piggyback off of what you said. Just shut down. Don't even let Pacheco get started. No. Right? Make him a non-factor. 9 rushes for 10 yards, 10 rushes for 16 yards, something like that. Where they have to pass, and okay, we give up a long third down here and there, so we can scream at the TV and get mad. That's fine, but I think we force Mahomes enough to throw. I think he's going to throw a pick, man. He has a bunch of turnover-worthy plays. That's a stat that PFF has. He's always up there in the league. Jalen Hurts is up there, which he usually isn't, so we got to hope he doesn't turn it over. But I think, we got guys coming off the edge. Their tackles are weak. We have a lot of strength up front, so I think their interior is going to be busy dealing with Jalen Carter and Fletcher Cox. And they might win those battles, but then you leave the tackles on an island, and I think Jawan Taylor is going to get abused this game. I think I don't know. I think Josh Sweat is due for a big game. I think BG is due for a big game. I think he's due to get he's been getting pressures. He's been doing well in the limited snaps he's in, but I think this is the time for him to get a couple sacks, maybe a forced fumble, a strip sack. I feel like we haven't had a strip sack from our guys up front in a while. I don't know if that's true or not, but it just seems kind of like it. So I think this is the game, man. We win those battles up front. And again, Jalen Carter, if he doesn't do much of that this game, I wouldn't even be mad because I think that's going to open the door for Sweat, Reddick. Maybe you bring Nick Morrow. He's been pretty good when you blitz him, quick, athletic linebacker, or bring a DB. So we'll see what Sean Desai does. This is going to be a pretty good battle of coordinators and coaches, just in general. Andy Reid, one of the best ever, if not the. I think you can put him up there with Bill Belichick. I know a lot of people will disagree because they all, everybody loves Bill, but Andy Reid's still going, and Bill is not. So, I think we pull it out. I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be close all game. We got to score first, score right away, shut that stadium down. I don't know when's the last time we even played in Arrowhead. I have no idea, but I'm excited. I can't wait, dude.
A couple of years ago, I believe, and I know we lost. I know Jason's never beaten Travis.
Right. So okay. So he owes him one. It's gonna be interesting. The whole build up is gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be tailgating as early as I can get to the stadium. Let's fucking go, dude.
I'm so excited for this game. This is the first regular season game. I mean, I obviously was excited for the Cowboys game last week, but this is like another level. It seems like not even like the rivalry. Nothing. It has nothing to do with that. This is just like the test. This seems like the team we're on a collision course to play these guys again in the Super Bowl. So This year we get a little bit of a preview of what that could look like. Fresh off of a bye, for the most part, everyone's pretty much healthy. It's like mano y mano. So let's see who's really about it. I know we don't have Dallas Goedert. I don't want to, kind of shy away from his importance. He is important, but I think
big game.
Alberto, I think the big thing here is us getting our run game going, whether that be Jalen, whether that be DeAndre Swift. I think those backs, though, we need more than 14, 15 carries and 50 yards or 40 yards. Like, we need somebody to kind of, push towards that 100-yard mark and maybe just kind of control the game. I think that's the key to this game. If we are trying to go score for score with these guys, then we're playing their game. Eagle football is just grinding and just winning on both sides of the line of scrimmage. I think we can definitely win this game. I'm just we have to go out and do it. So my prediction now, let me lay it out on a prediction since we do a podcast. I will say the Eagles win 31-21.
All right. Wow. Limiting them to 21 would be nuts.
Yep.
I'm all for it. So let's fucking do it. No slip. I don't want to hear excuses about the rain is why the pass rush couldn't get off. Fuck that. They have 2 tackles that have been getting it. Donovan Smith is old. Still good, but he's old, so you can use that speed around him. And Jawan Taylor is not good, man. They thought that was going to be another investment where they let their tackle go. I think it was Orlando Brown, or could be wrong. I thought it might have been Orlando Brown was their tackle, or Trey Smith. No, fuck. I'm blanking.
I'm positive they had Orlando Brown.
And he went to Baltimore, right, or somebody.
He went to Cincinnati.
Cincinnati gave him a bunch of money. That's right. And I think they really tried. They gave Jawan Taylor a lot of money, and he was not good in Jacksonville. There's a reason they didn't really want to keep him. They thought it was going to be another. I think because I think Orlando Brown was a late pick because he was like not a good athlete, didn't test well, was kind of heavy, but they turned that around, made it work. I think they tried doing the same thing with Jawan Taylor, but it's not worked. It has not worked. I think he's really good in the run, really bad against the pass, but I think he might be both, honestly. So we have to win that. Up front is where we have to win. I know, kind of obvious, but it's not even more so about our O-line against their D-line and their front. I think we can have the edge there. We really need to get to Mahomes. Really need to do it because we cannot trust this secondary at all. I mean, Sam Howell is out here torching us. So
Yep. I agree.
Mac Jones. Look at Mac Jones' only good game of the year. It was against us.
Yeah.
So
lots of people have been torching us. It just seems
not a fan.
It seems like a kind of common occurrence. So I am fighting so hard not to sneeze right now. So we will keep it moving.
Bless you.
Thank you. So the Eagles will move to 9-1 after this week. The
Absolutely.
Sixers started off 8-1, I believe, and then have lost their last 2 games. Do I have that correctly? I think.
Yeah.
But things have kind of not gone downhill. I don't want to overreact and act like it's the sky is falling, but it's not great. It's not good. It's not it doesn't make you feel good to lose 2 in a row, especially to the Celtics, who did not have Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis. But I used to just go through all these games and talk about the ins and outs and how great this guy looked or how good that guy looked, but I don't really like to do that anymore. I kind of like to just as the season progresses, talk about what you're noticing and how you're feeling. I think they are noticing the loss of Kelly Oubre. I think Kelly Oubre was adding a lot to this team, and I hope they get him back somewhat soon. Seems like Maxey has kind of not hit a wall, but had a little bit of a rough patch here these last couple games. So we'd like to see him get back on track. Embiid's look great, but I guess I'd like to hear your thoughts.
I'm kind of concerned with our defense against guards.
Yeah,
I think that's always kind of been something that has been an issue for us over the years. I really haven't been watching. It seems like we play at the worst times for me to watch. But Tyrese Maxey, his defense isn't great, right? He's going to get cooked on defense, and so is Tobias Harris, and so is pretty much anybody we have on the perimeter, other than Jaden Springer. That kid's electric. I want to see more minutes from him, 100%. He was it against the Celtics? I think he played 10 minutes, right? 20 minutes. He had 9 points, 4 or 5, made his only 3, had 2 steals, 2 turnovers. He was a plus 20, and Embiid was a minus 25. I know plus minuses are. They need context for sure, but one thing I did notice at the end of that Pacers game was that Embiid and Maxey just were fumbling it. It seemed like it was back to the chaotic, panicking offense that we run, and it's not something I would blame on Nick Nurse. It's the players; they just panic, and whatever plays are getting wrong, whatever sets are being called, it kind of is out the window. I mean, Nick Nurse can't get on the court and calm these guys' nerves. Embiid. His effort has been shit lately. Last couple games, honestly. Kyle Neubeck said something about it. And Embiid liked the tweet, which I think is absolutely corny. You can say, he's a pro athlete, and it was a 4 games in 5 day stretch. That's fair, 100%. But going on Twitter and liking it to try to prove a point or something. Neubeck's one of the best Sixers guys we have. He loves Embiid. It wasn't anything out of hate. It was rightful criticism. He looked like he was not trying. He was fumbling the ball, turning it over, kicking it out of bounds, falling on the court. So, what was it? 32 assists in those 2 games against the Pacers for Halliburton, 0 turnovers. Insane. So, and then, Derek White just daggering us left and right.
Yep.
That's not good to see. Al
Heartbreaking.
Horford had another good game against us. It's just something that we can't let happen. Drew Holiday was making clutch shots. Luke Cornett, for some reason, was out there being a positive for them on the court. So, early in the season again, for sure. But we have a big game tonight against the Hawks.
Yeah, the in-season tournament. Ty, what are your thoughts on the in-season tournament?
I'm sorry, 1-1. We beat the Pistons. In both games, we haven't looked great, so I don't think our players probably give a fuck. I don't think Embiid cares about another $500,000. I don't know, really. I thought an incentive would be like an automatic playoff spot or maybe more money. Like if it was millions of dollars each player, sure, that's definitely an incentive. But I don't know. I can't tell you that I know. I think Adam Silver is just making it up as he goes.
I think it's big for like the guys who don't play, like the guys on the bench. Them not.
So maybe we can get Springer some playing time. He had a sequence the other day where I think made a 3 or he had a I think he made a 3 and then he got a steal and a dunk right away, like back in 10 seconds. So maybe we see more of him. Maybe we see Kenyon Martin Jr. play a little bit. But I mean, we have a tough guard tonight. 2 guards, DeJounte Murray and Trae Young. Clint Capella has always, for some reason, played well against Joel Embiid and the Sixers. So hopefully we can get a win because I don't really like the Hawks that much.
They're the underdogs, I believe, as well. So
1.5 Sixers, I think.
Our favorites?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have seen that wrong.
ESPN could be lying though. ESPN Bet. Shout out to ESPN Bet.
Yo, shout out to ESPN Bet who has.
Shout out to Hard Rock Bet.
ESPN
down in Florida.
Bet
I guess I can.
A free. So Sixers are down to -1. So who knows what the deal is here? But it just in general, like. I know that the Sixers could use another ball handler that's not named Tyrese Maxey. I know they have Pat Bev, but he's kind of shown he's not really that guy. So I'd like to see what do you think about the whole Bulls are going to blow it up thing? And is Zach LaVine a guy that you would kind of trade for? Because it seems like the more I've watched it, and I think you have to let this play out because we were ready to knight Maxey as the greatest player of all time last week, and now this week it seems like, well, there's still some holes and yada, yada, yada. So I guess I'd ask you, do you think LaVine is worth the price that you're going to have to pay to get him and his contract that is still kind of up in the air and a part of any trade that you'll be on the hook for multiple years after this year, which the Sixers have kind of shown that they really want flexibility past this season. So I guess, there's guys like Caruso. I mean, Vucevic, we wouldn't really be interested in. So it seems just like LaVine and Caruso of those two. Would they interest you at all?
I would love Caruso. The guy I think I want the most, I was talking about LaVine a lot. I think, his percentages so far have not been good. He's not always an efficient guy. So I think adding an inefficient guard who doesn't really defend, I think that's just not in our interest. I think OG Anunoby is the perfect target that we should look after if the Raptors decide to, trade anybody or sell anything. I don't want to give up multiple firsts, but whatever the asking price is for him, I don't care. I don't care about picks that we have in 2028 or 2030. I truly don't. And it's kind of scary how close 2030 is in real time. Makes me kind of scared. We're almost in 2024. Yeah. That makes me feel not old, but very ancient. Jesus, but
time moves fast, man.
It's sad. We're almost 30. I'm a shell of a human being at this point. So hopefully, I got to live the rest of my 20s up. I'm going to be in Kansas City acting a fool, by the way. So
hell yeah.
Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on my Snapchat if you have me on there. If not, hit me up on the secret on the low, and I'll give you the scoop. But LaVine has 2 years after this year and a player option. I could see him opting out. I could see him not getting better with age. He's 28, 2 years older than LaVine. If you get LaVine and Caruso, sure. I guess I'd be all for that. Maybe throw in Patrick Williams, see if we can get anything out of him. I do not like Patrick Williams, but maybe we can get him, see if we can turn him into anything. I think, watching Paul Reed play, it's obvious that he can't really be a backup big for long minutes. So, I think OG Anunoby is the guy we need to target. Get some perimeter defense. He's turned his shooting around. He can shoot now. And he's one of the better defenders in the league. So, that's the guy I want. I've always been talking about LaVine because I would love to have another dynamic scorer. Fuck the defense. Let's score 150. But I don't know. I don't know if he really fits into what we want. Honestly, I don't know if Nick Nurse really wants that. And also, Nick Nurse coached OG, so I think he might be pushing for that if he becomes available. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a big factor if he becomes available. But if he were to, then I would absolutely be about it. It just kind of depends on the price when you maybe could sign him in free agency if that's what you're down for, in the offseason, and not give up all those picks and maybe use those picks to get somebody else, right? So it's just kind of a weighing your option situation here. Sixers could wind up moving a Nick Batum and Covington, and maybe DeAnthony Melton's played pretty good, so I think that's a positive or a good thing. He's been knocking the three ball down and been a big part of the bench. So yeah, Tobias has been huge. I think they're just they as deep as they are, I think they could use a little bit more. I'm not gonna act like it's the end of the world. Like I like to make sure I clarify that, because you talk about some people and they still think, oh, well, fuck the Sixers. They're eventually gonna break your heart. I'm with you. If you say that to me, but I've moved past that. I've kind of tried to put that in the past with James Harden, because now I've realized that the system is not exactly the system. All he does is bring rain clouds, gloom, doom, and losses to wherever he goes. So
I love it.
0-5 the Clippers are since they traded for him. So there you go.
Multiple fourth quarter leads blown, and right when Harden checks in for Westbrook, I love it. And as soon as he comes in, it goes to hell. It's not even like exaggerated. He's like a minus 64 on the court or something, and they're like so much better with him off the court. I love it. It could not be going much worse for us and better for us and worse for them. Terrence Mann also hasn't really, he was untouchable for them. He's averaging like 6 a game. So
I'm with you with the. I would like to see more out of Jaden Springer, like more like burn. He doesn't get much time. He's averaging a little bit under 10 minutes a game, and he's only played in 7 of the games. So it's like I would like to see him, just to see kind of what we have in him. But right now they have we have Embiid, Maxey, Harris, Oubre, which will be huge when we get him back, Melton, and then like Batum and maybe Paul Reed. And you have like 7 guys that you kind of trust. Pat Bev he's out there, but he's just, I don't know how much he's really adding to the whole dynamic of the team. So I guess you have a little bit of ammo. Maybe I'd like to see them go out and, if it's Caruso, whoever, maybe even add somebody off of when the buyout market. That's not exactly what it used to be, the old buyout market, but they're just missing a couple different pieces that could maybe fit in here nicely, and I think they are missing some defense a little bit. But I did just want to point out, I think Oubre being gone I think we're kind of underestimating how much value he's brought to this team in the short time that he's been here. I mean, he's out right now. He was averaging 16.3 points a game. He's stealing the ball. I think he's second in the team in steals, other than Rocco, who is Rocco. So I'll take Kelly Oubre coming back, and we'll figure it out from there. But I just hope he comes back soon. It doesn't sound like he's going to be out a terribly long time. Just to wait till the rib heals kind of thing, and then he'll be back out there. So that's my Sixers talk. Anything else from the league that you really want to talk about? I really don't have anything from the association. Has kind of been a little bit of a bore this last.
Yeah, no, you're not having fun. Not watching.
I don't enjoy it as much as I did that first week. Yeah, Draymond choking people out.
That's
getting himself
I'm glad
suspended.
He got 5 games.
He should. It's just unnecessary. I don't like. It's dumb. Why is he got involved and he just runs over and puts an Anderson Silva sleeper hold on some guy? Like, I'm okay. And he always tries to get himself thrown out whenever Steph Curry's not playing. Somebody went through and they were like, they tweeted that they're like, oh, 30's not playing tonight. He's definitely getting himself thrown out. And
Gobert said it right after the game, which I love. So fuck Draymond Green.
I don't like Draymond Green. I really he's just the typical guy who plays like in these men's leagues who tries to hurt people the whole time, and he's like trying to fight you the whole time. It's like, bro, just play the game. Like, you're good enough to just play basketball and not deal with any of that nonsense. But people have empowered him and told him that what the value that he brings, so he just refuses to do anything different. This is what he does. So
NBA player empowerment. Shout out to Adam Silver. One of my favorite players in the league to watch.
Wizard.
SGA,
Shai
Gilgeous-Alexander, absolute stud. Just love watching him play. The way he plays is awesome. OKC, 4th place, 8-4. They have a nice thing going with Shea and Jalen Williams. Nobody's really talking about how they talk about Chet Holmgren and even Giddey, Lou Dort. Our boy, who I just really wish we still had, but it just didn't work. Isaiah Joe the other day, just 7 of 7 from 3. He just comes in stroking with the wet. And yeah, Chet Holmgren, obviously, I mean, he's a beast. Still, 20? 21. So
Yeah.
Jalen Williams has played really well. He's only 22. They have a good team, man. Case and Wallace, absolutely. I knew that pick was going to be good for them. He's already averaging 8, hardly even plays. Shout out to the St. Pete Fire Department. They're making an appearance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man, those
Getting
shits
louder
are
and louder.
loud. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, there's fires, I guess. Those fires are hot.
Hope
as they
all things
say.
are good down there in the Pete. Oh, my God.
So
It's getting
you can
loud.
take it away.
Holy shit, he had to mute himself. They might be rolling into his crib.
They're right under my apartment. They drove down 17th. If they're going that way, it must be serious. So some old person probably set their 500-year house on fire on accident. Who knows?
So there is your association update. We are going to move to Major League Baseball, a little hot stove before we get out of here. Also did want to mention the Flyers are playing pretty good right now. So I wanted to give them their little respect, but it's hard to get behind them when every time I'm there, they get their fucking doors blown off. So there that is. But
8-7, better than the Blackhawks.
Hey, you know what the rumors are around here, Ty, for my Philadelphia Phillies? It looks like they might be interested in Yoshi Yamamoto. So that is what I'm getting all excited about. People are talking about the potential contracts and things of that nature that they would be willing to do.
Not happening.
It seems like the Phils have kind of maybe not the team, but the fan base itself has kind of moved away from Aaron Nola. They just have kind of accepted the fact that he's probably not coming back and that they don't really have much of a say here. But I guess the big news or the big name to kind of their shoe to drop would be Shohei Ohtani, and hasn't really given us any news or anything. I'm hearing the Cubs might be a place that he would want to go. I don't know if
the Mariners have already said we're not going to go after him, so that's a good winning strategy. If the Rangers really want to flex their muscle, they should just try to sign him. Why not?
But he did say he's not all about the money, which it's all about, which I obviously going to the Rangers would be not just all about the money because they just won the championship. But I guess where do you think he actually ends up? It's crazy when you sit here and think about it. I haven't heard much about your Dodgers or the Yankees anymore. I don't know what the Yankees are even doing anymore. So
yeah, I think Ohtani's a Dodger. I think it's happening. Okay. I think it's been in the works for a couple of years now. It's hard. It's not that easy to gauge where Ohtani wants to go. I mean, if you saw him getting the MVP trophy, he was just playing with his dog on the couch. Like it's tough to get he seems like a cool guy, but he's just kind of, laid back. He's chill. I don't think he's going to make the same mistake twice. I think he already made one signing with the Angels, choosing the wrong LA team. I don't think he really wanted to be caught up in the Hollywood mix. I think he said so himself. And now I don't think that's the case anymore. Now I think he wants to win. I think he's got a taste of losing and he doesn't like it.
Yep.
He knows he's going to get paid. So I think he's going to look at a good roster. I think he's, I don't know where in the country he wants to live, but he's already been in California. I'm sure moving a little bit more north or south. South, I think. No, is it north? I don't know where LA and Anaheim are geographically. I thought LA was, I don't know. But
who cares?
Who cares? To stay in California, I think would probably be a good thing if you're the Dodgers. I think that's a factor for you, and you have the money. You've been saving up all this money to give it to him, so that's not an option, or that's not an issue. And then you're one of the best teams in baseball. All the shit went wrong last year. You still won 100 games, and I think some of your stars aren't showing up in the playoffs. So I think you definitely need to just, if it's not working, keep fucking trying to get more guys. I have no problem with that. Fans can hate all they want, but the facts are the facts. If you're not going to be if you're going to be a top 5, top 10 team in payroll, you're probably not going to win. That's just kind of the facts. The Yankees aren't even up there in payroll anymore, and they're not winning. So the Phillies are up there, and you've noticed the last couple of years they've been to the World Series. So almost went back a second time.
Yeah,
should have went back a second time. it appears that Mr. Yamamoto is going to be posted Monday.
Yes.
Officially, and then teams have 45 days to negotiate. I also thought I heard that people don't expect Ohtani to take that long, but maybe either a little bit before the holidays in December or a little bit after. Somewhere in December, I think people expect him to make a decision, and then Yamamoto obviously won't be too far behind him. Apparently, he has every team coming after him. The Yankees, Red Sox, Mets, Phillies, Dodgers, Giants. I guess John Heyman. Some people think that Yamamoto may prefer a team on the West Coast due to its closer proximity to Japan.
Yeah.
So Dodgers, Giants, Padres. I mean, the Padres owner just died. That was crazy. Right during the middle of winter meetings. That was wild. So RIP. With that said, they're also loaning. They have a bunch of loans. The Padres do, so that's not good. Doesn't look like they're in the best fight. I think all of this television, all the TV deals falling apart, and the whole thing with Bally is really hurting teams because like TV deals are
huge money.
Generally a big part of your franchise. Without that, you just lose like a third, maybe more of your actual spending money. So that's really hurting teams. I mean, it's a part of the reason the Rays don't spend money. They don't have any money, and I think it's the reason the Cubs for a while couldn't really spend. And now it's hurting the Padres. So Giants are a team that's always been rumored. You know, they want to sign a big star. I mean, the team's not that good, but if they offer him Yamamoto the most money, I'm sure he won't turn it down. But let's see. I'm very interested. The Dodgers should go after both. Fuck it. Everybody that needs these guys, just go after them. Why not? Money is a myth.
I saw a potential trade for Mike Trout on
not happening.
One of the websites, but the only way he's going to get traded is if he asks for it and Ohtani goes somewhere else, and they kind of are like, well, we have to make a move here.
No.
But it included Castellanos, which was pretty wild. Castellanos,
they're going to love get him back. Griff
McGarry and Justin Crawford, who is the son of the...
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit more than that, unfortunately.
I would not against trading for Mike Trout, obviously, because he's one of the best players in baseball, even though he doesn't stay healthy. But
getting older.
He's getting older as well, and I think if the Angels were trying to kind of rebuild or really do it the right way, at some point they're going to have to move away from him, and he's going to have to want it to happen, because if he gets traded and he's like, oh well, I still wanted to be an Angel for my whole career, and then they'll just get hate all left and right.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to get traded for the record. I think he still loves playing in a place where nobody really cares what he does or if they win or if they lose. He's kind of cool just cashing that check and hitting home runs every time he's out there, hitting 40 home runs in meaningless games. I think that's cool with him. That's obviously why he signed a 15-year deal. It was about the bread and about the security, so I don't blame him. But you can't cry wolf and complain when you don't play in playoff games, because that's kind of the negative in the situation that he kind of invited himself into. So, yes, I obviously want Yamamoto. I don't know about what else is going to happen here. There really hasn't been much news otherwise. I've heard names like Corbin Burns possibly being available via trade, or maybe Tyler Glasnow, a.k.a. Killian Murphy, being available. Yeah. I don't know about Glasnow. I think he's not a guy who really...
elbow, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. He's not a guy who stays healthy. He's really good, but can't trust him to stay healthy. It's that simple. And Corbin Burns, really good as well, but who knows how much he would cost, or if the Brewers would even want to trade him. So,
yeah. Well, I think Woodruff's out for most of the next year, if not all of next year, actually. So teams are trying to trade for him, knowing they have an option year after the year. So the Brewers might just have a complete fire sale. Devin Williams, their stud closer, he might be gone. Josh Hader, who's actually on the Padres, I think he's going to get a bunch of money on the open market. I think the Rangers, that's who they're going to go after to try to complete their roster. They really need a big-time reliever. So I think that's where they're going to spend their money. I don't think they're going to go Ohtani. I think, if anything, they want to trade for Devin Williams or sign Hader. I think Aaron Nola, I guess, is going to be a Cardinal. And I think the Phillies land one of the big name. I don't know who. I think they might, it might be Yamamoto.
I really hope it's not.
Yeah, I know he just won the Cy Young, but
I don't care.
He's due to regress. He's not young. He's had injuries before. He's had inconsistent issues just in general. Yeah. Kind of like Jack Flaherty, just randomly just shit the bed. So, yeah, I don't know if that's the option, but I will say letting Aaron Nola walk will be the biggest mistake the Philadelphia Phillies have made in their history as a franchise.
Ooh.
You do not let an LSU legend walk out of your field,
I was wondering
off of your field, out of your stadium, out of the dugout for nothing. You don't do it, so they will rue the day.
Yeah, I'm not all that worried about Aaron Nola walking out the door. It's more of a money thing, depending on, what he wants or what he gets from another team. If he gets a 7-year, $210 million contract, it's just not happening.
Sign
not
Bring him to LA. Sign it.
But Dave Dombrowski's made some serious moves in his days as a GM, especially off-season moves, signing Prince Fielder, signing David Price, signing J.D. Martinez, nasty Nate Eovaldi. He's got, guys like Kyle Schwarber and stuff like that. So bring Prince back? Yeah, why not, dude? Get him on that body issue. Remember when he was on the cover of the body issue for ESPN? His big old naked ass was just hanging out on the cover. So that was a time to be alive.
They got to redo that and get my girl Cameron Brink on the cover.
Yeah.
Shout out to Stanford.
Yeah, I just don't know. I would love to be in the meetings and figure out what the Phillies really are about. I'd love to get Ohtani. Let me just say that, obviously. I don't know if we're really breaking any news there. Just don't think it's going to happen without question. Yeah. Yamamoto, though, it's going to be tough because he's basically going to have his pick of wherever he wants to go. He's a young 25-year-old kid who is has nasty stuff and is going to get a somewhat of a reasonably priced contract because of the fact that he's kind of unknown. I don't know how long the contract. I really don't know the details. I've seen a couple things, but if you're going to give a 7-year contract out to somebody, I'll give it to Yamamoto before I give it to Aaron fucking
He's 25.
Nola. Yeah, so that is the guy who I want. I want him over anyone else, pretty much in all of free agency, within reason.
I'm going to make a prediction. Phillies sign Yoshi Yamamoto.
I would love that. And I do want to get a bat of some kind. I don't know how. I don't know who we're going to get.
Rhys Hoskins.
I would love Josh Hader. Those are like the three things I think the Phillies need. They need a big-time weapon out of the bullpen. And they have weapons, but they need another one. That would be one. I think we need a starter, obviously. We might need two. But they do have people on the horizon. I think Taijuan Walker gets flipped at some point. They're going to move on from him. So I think they're going to have money to play with a little bit. It just, who's going to take him? What are you going to have to take back? That's, kind of a talking point there. But I do think we need a bat, though. I just think maybe not center field, maybe just something. The Phillies are missing a little, just another push over the edge. And I know a lot of those guys, the argument will be that they didn't play well, and they were going to play better this time, but I don't believe it. So I don't trust it, and I know it could happen, but there's got to be somebody out there. I do think Mike Trout's it's the closest it's ever been. I know I'm not the biggest, I'm not that Trout guy who's been loving him ever since. I've been shitting on him, trolling him, and calling him a fraud for many a years. But just from a Phillies fan standpoint, if a guy like him became available, and it's the closest it's ever been kind of because of how bad the Angels have been of recent memory, and he's constantly hurt, why wouldn't you? It's not our money.
Definitely not my money. And I don't have much of it, so I'm glad it's not. I think a bat, top-end starter, and reliever is what they need. It should be on their grocery list for the offseason. Flip Reese, flip Taijuan, flip Castellanos. Yeah. Castellanos. Get rid of him. Flip him out of here. Get rid of him. Get some depth, right? I think they were an injury away from having, they had Johan Rojas out there. Is it Johan Rojas?
Yeah, Johan Rojas playing center field.
Yeah. Not a good bat, turns out. Automatic out, if you will, especially in the playoffs. So, and then Christian Pache. I saw people say, oh, man, I wish we had Christian Pache in the line. I was like, yeah, all right. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of people. Teams are in multiple teams are in crisis mode money-wise. So I think that's going to open the door for teams that aren't, in a way. I think the Minnesota Twins are we have to cut back on money. It's like, well, we're not even we just start spending money and we're still not at the level. How are we supposed to get there now if we're supposed to cut money So that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So maybe the Phillies can be a team that capitalizes,
And they do. It seems like they're doing well financially. They're
Yeah.
filling that stadium out all the time. I
Yeah.
don't see why
Good
they
TV
would.
deal.
Then they have. They just been winning, and they've had extra games deep into the playoffs. So I don't see why they wouldn't be doing well. But who knows? But that's pretty much it. Until we have an update, we will talk to you soon. We will have a full breakdown of Ty's trip to Kansas City the next time we are
Boots
on this
on the
pod.
ground. We are in Missouri. 24 hours from now, we will be landing, I believe.
You
in
believe
Missouri.
Taylor will be there?
I believe she'll be there.
What are your thoughts
tickets,
on her dad turning his back on the Eagles?
Listen, it's very unfortunate, but Q102 said we're not going to play any T Swift this week. I love it. Mental warfare on both sides. We're going at it. This is all the marbles, pretty much. Big rematch. The stakes have gotten higher due to a pop singer, and that's just how it works. She's from PA. There's a whole angle about that. Me and her used to date, so now and I will be in attendance. So there's obviously a grudge match with me and Travis. There's all the angles. All the angles are working. I think her dad, T Swift's dad, is a member of the St. Pete Yacht Club, I believe. So I mean, dude, literally everything is in the balance. Everybody's life is hanging on here. So including mine.
Go Birds. Go Sixers. Go Phils. Hopefully Yamamoto is a Philly by the time we talk again.
Go Yosh.
Go Yosh. Hope Yosh. Bring the Yosh home. My name is Matt McSweeney.
I am Ty Capone.
And ladies and gentlemen, as always, please make sure to tie your shoes before you leave the crib because you don't want something happening like tripping over your own feet.